we are in a consumer goods industry. It's important that we stay relevant. Consumer preferences do keep on changing, especially in such a dynamic environment. So there is a work hour which is there in office, but practically I am an early riser. I wake up at 4:30 in the morning. I spend an hour reading, listening to audio books, and do my basic exercises. My skills are largely in understanding consumers, and I also bring in a lot of knowledge around how to unlock potential with consumers, how to make things happen. You may have a brilliant idea, but how do you activate it in an efficient way?
Hello everyone, welcome back to our channel StartupLanes.com. I am Pranjal Jaiswal and I take interviews of various CXOs of India. Today we have with us Mr. Anupam Katheriya. He is the Vice President Marketing and Business Development at Emami Ltd, turning around business for the last 22 years by focusing on key business problems and finding innovative general management, marketing and sales solution in the consumer goods industry. Yet pleased to lead a number of campaign activities, launches which have won several awards. He has worked on global and local brands in recognized organizations from Fortune Global 500 to Fortune India 500 organizations. With this, let's dive into this video. Hello sir, I am Pranjal Jaiswal from StartupLanes. It's really great to have you here. I will first request you to please introduce yourself.
Hi, my name is Anupam Katheriya. I worked for about 22 years in the industry. Did my engineering and then an MBA from a well-known institute. And I worked with Heinz, Nestle, and now with Emami. So over 22 years, I worked in both sales and marketing side of business and have led many well-known brands and have developed leading campaigns.
Wonderful, sir. So my first question for you is, tell us about your professional journey. What led you to this point? And was that easy or tough?
It has been an very exciting journey from managing a small business many years back to a roller coaster ride of establishing new brands, extending them to new spaces, developing the category. So I started with Heinz, where I worked on two of the leading brands. One was the Heinz ketchup, and then I worked on Complan. So very powerful brands, how we managed to increase our market share, develop the category. I also worked on sales side of business, where I worked in modern trade, general trade, HoReCa channels. And all of these experiences helped me develop as a leader. Today, I am part of Emami, where I manage the flagship brand Navratna. I also manage Creme 21 and a newly acquired brand Tamikku at Emami.
My next question is, have you faced difficulties in your life? Can you think of your tough time and how did you tackle it?
How do you manage business during significant changes in the economy, which includes a COVID period? How do you sustain a business? How do you ensure that the brand stays relevant for consumers as consumer priorities kept on changing? So how do you bring in products which are relevant for consumers? And you roll out communication and campaigns so that consumer connect with the brand and continue to consume. So that was one of the most challenging portion of the business. One of the business which I managed in the earlier stint was growing a business in a high COGS increase environment. So how do you continue to make business grow despite high inflationary environment, and ensure that business not only grow but also maintains the profitability. So these are some of the challenges, and I think because of these challenges, it gives us the satisfaction of having done and achieved some of the remarkable work. Many of the work which you have done recently have been awarded, and that's why I'm very happy with the kind of work me and my team, the entire organization has done.
So is it necessary to keep yourself updated? How do you keep up to the latest trends?
Yeah, we are in the consumer goods industry. It's important that we stay relevant. Consumer preferences do keep on changing, especially in such a dynamic environment. And in this kind of environment, we need to keep a very close eye on how consumer preferences are changing across the geography. How will it impact consumers? How will it impact business is very, very critical. And that's why we are always on our toes to ensure that we are responding in time, and we are there to ensure that the consumers continue to prefer and buy us.
So which are your favorite books? What's your takeaway from them?
It's been quite some time. I used to read a lot of books, but from recent years I've started moving to audiobooks. That helps me manage my time very efficiently. I spend a lot of time on YouTube in audio mode when I'm driving, I'm walking, I'm jogging. That helps me keep me updated on whatever is happening. There are many thinkers in marketing, in finance, and I follow all of them, and that's one of the efficient ways to keep me updated. So in terms of books, I'm actually reading, or let's say listening to a wide range of authors, and it's important that I spend close to about 6 to 7 hours of listening every week to cover not only what's happening in the current time, but also keeping myself updated in terms of what the best thinking so far many of the great thinkers have brought in.
Very nice, sir. What is your success mantra? Share your original quote or a quote that you follow.
Every day comes with its own challenge. As a leader, you need to live your life like a bobo. That's a toy. Every day morning, you have to stand up and say that I'll fight out. Come what may, you had a bad day, you have not had your successes, you had you had problems not solved. But every day morning, you have to stand up and say that I'll fight it out. I'll give my best. So it's those everyday commitments that make a lot of difference. And with those mini steps, you really probably climb a mountain one day.
How can your followers become like you?
There is no shortcut to hard work, right? Sometimes the success comes with a lot of patience. I still believe that I haven't still got the best out of me, and there's still far more new things which still have to come in. So it's going to be, you need to be persistent, you need to be patient, you need to continue to do your hard work. How are you a better version of yourself from yesterday? And as long as you are on that path, you will definitely get your success.
So what is your daily routine? How many hours a day do you work?
So there is a work hour which is there in office, but practically I am an early riser. I wake up at 4:30 in the morning. I spend an hour reading, listening to audio books, and do my basic exercises. And that's how my day starts. So during the day, I catch up with whatever is happening. I think as a leader, the onus is on us. How do we get best output from whatever time we are spending? So even though the work hours are defined at 8 hours, it's up to us. How do we get, let's say, about 10 to 12 hours of productivity from that 8 hours? My work goes beyond those official 8 hours because it is not just about doing the activity, it's also about thinking. And some of the best time to think is early in the morning when you are actually not disturbed. So my day starts pretty early, and I keep on splitting my activities, my tasks throughout the day, so that I continue to be efficient throughout the day.
How do you balance your work life and family?
The goal is to how to get most out of whatever you are spending. If you are spending 1 hour with the family, how are you ensuring that you're completely dedicated at that time? So is it uninterrupted 1 hour you're giving to the family? Similarly, when you are in a meeting, it has to be uninterrupted 1 hour. It has to be designed in that way. So managing work-life balance is completely up to you. Don't try to do too many multitask activities. It's useless. Have a concentrated effort. Even if it's 5 minutes, give a full attention to that. And if all these pieces fall back, they fit well, then you will have a perfect work-life balance.
So my next question is, what would be the advice that you would give to your 20-year-old younger self Have you made any mistakes that you regret?
There are mistakes. I think it's part of learning. 20 years back, when I started my journey, I was clueless in terms of what needs to be done. I think as you grow, you need to have mentors around you. Don't try to discover things on your own. So create your network, connect with your seniors, experience, and try to learn so that you don't make the same kind of mistakes. So there are no mistakes. I think there are regrets that I think I could have used some of those network and maybe perform even better.
Where do you see yourself today if you haven't picked up this career?
That's a tough one. At this moment I can't think of. I would have been certainly from the way I used to manage activities in my school or college. I would have been in some of the management. I would be managing something. That's for sure. Today I'm managing brands. I manage people. I think I should have been in the managerial space, if not this.
So would you like to mentor the entrepreneurs? If yes, which type of ideas or startup you would prefer?
So my skills are largely in understanding consumers, and I also bring in a lot of knowledge around how to unlock potential with consumers, how to make things happen. You may have a brilliant idea, but how do you activate it in an efficient way? Right? I think that's the knowledge which I'm bringing in. If there is a possibility, then I'll possibly look at options to engage in the consumer space activities. However, I'm really tight on time at this moment. So I think the engagement will completely depend on the time which is available.
Like, whom would you like to thank for supporting you in career or life?
Almighty, my family, and all my well-wishers who have trusted me in terms of giving the challenging assignments. And each of those assignments gave me a learning which was very, very valuable. So I would really thank my leaders and seniors for guiding me and trusting me with all the work which I've been doing.
Okay, sir. So my last question for you is, what do you think about StartupLanes?
I think we are as a country in a great time. 3 or 4 decades back, we were not called as a startup. We were called as entrepreneurs. You set up your own venture, but that's not called a startup. But today there is a good ecosystem to promote startups. You have ecosystem to share knowledge. You have ecosystem to raise funds, get things done, and of course government is also supporting you. So I think we are in a great space, and the best thing about is the only way the country can grow is through numerous number of ventures, because that opens up possibilities for better services, improvement of life, and well-being for everybody. So startups is definitely good. We ourselves have invested in some of these startups. You believe that there is an opportunity and you have the confidence of making it happen. So it's a wonderful time, and I believe startups are going to make a lot of change in coming years. So while I'm talking about startups, we're talking about StartupLanes. I think with the ecosystem which is existing, everybody is aspiring to make a mark in startups. StartupLanes as a platform is a great platform for creating an opportunity to share knowledge and gain from each other. So even though you may be there in Vadodara, or you may be in Belgaum or in Prayagraj, you don't have to be dependent on a particular location to develop your idea or scale it up. This is the world where we can work in virtually, and StartupLanes has created a perfect platform to help us develop startups wherever we are.
Thank you so much, sir. It was great to have you here. Indeed, it was a fruitful session.
Thank you very much, Pranjal.
Thank you.